All right, so we're going to take a look at Math Madness round 4, qualifying round number 2. And we are going to take a look at problem number 7 and 8. How many ways can 21 be expressed as a sum of two numbers or more in a consecutive positive, and they have to be consecutive positive integers? All right. Well, I mean, the most obvious one is 10 and 11, right? So that's one consecutive pair, because 10 and 11 are consecutive numbers, and when you get the sum, add them together, you get 21. But something tells me there are lots of ways of doing this. Or, I mean, could I add 3 numbers together to get 21 that are consecutive? Can I add 4 consecutive numbers to get 21? How about 5? How about 6? So I need a way to look at this problem that I can apply to more than just the most obvious situation. So I know that a sum is an addition problem, right? And so here I have a number, and I added it to the same number plus 1, and that had to equal 21. Well, what is x plus x? Well, x plus x is 2x, and we still have the plus 1. And so this is equal to 21. And obviously, I could subtract 1 from both sides, and I get 2x is equal to 20, and so then x has to be 10. But I can use this process to figure out if it's possible. So what about 3 numbers? So if I have 3 numbers, it'd be x plus 1 plus x plus 2, because this number has to be 2 larger than the original number. Well, how many x's? X plus x plus x, that's 3x. 1 plus 2 is 3, and that has to equal 21. Well, subtract 3, and I get 3x is equal to 18. Divide by 3, and x is equal to 6. So that means 6 plus 7 plus 8 will work. All right, what about 4 numbers? So that would be x plus 1 plus x plus 2 plus x plus 3. All right, well, so then I have 4, so that's equal to 4x, because x plus x plus x plus x is 4. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. All right. Is equal to 21. Well, subtract 6, and I get 4x is equal to 15. Now wait a second. 15 is not divisible by 4, so this is not possible. So I cannot have 4 consecutive numbers that are going to add up to 21. Let's try another one. How about 5 numbers? So that would be x plus 1 plus x plus 2, plus x plus 3 plus x plus 4. And that obviously has to equal 21 as well. All right, so I have 5 x's, and 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. It's equal to 21. Oh, I can already see this. This isn't going to work. Minus 10. And 11 is a prime number. That isn't going to work. Well, what about 6 numbers? So, well, wait a second. It would just be 6 x's, right? And I would add 5, because that's the next number to 10. So that's plus 15 equals 21 minus 15 minus 15. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing how I just generated the equation really quickly. I just realized I'd have one more x, and then I'd have to add 5, because that's following the pattern. So then I have 6x is equal to 6. Oh, look at this. This is going to work. So that means I would also have 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. So I have 3 ways that I can do it. And I don't need to go any further because right now I know that if I have 6 numbers, x has to equal 1. Well, I can't get another positive number below 1. All right, so then our last problem. All right. So the area of the rectangle ABCD is 280. If DE is equal to 1/4 DC and FC is equal to 1/5 DC, what is the area of triangle EFG? All right. Wow. Well, wouldn't it be wonderful if we knew the length of DC and AD? It would be wonderful, but we don't. It could be anything, right? So we've got to figure out this in a different way, don't we? Right. So, well, it does give us a little bit of a hint. Now, I can't help but notice that this triangle right here has the same height as the rectangle, right? And so, really, the only thing that's different, well, and hold on a second. I know the area. I know the area of the whole rectangle is going to be the height AD times the length, which is DC, and that has to equal 280, right? Because it tells us that. And I know that the area of a triangle, so the area of this thing, the area of this whole thing, well, wait a second, so the height is AD again, right? The height is AD, right? And so then, so for the, I'm going to draw a rectangle here. Then for the triangle, we're going to have 1/2. I don't know what the base is yet, but I know the height is AD. And the length of this thing, well, I know this is a 1/4, right? And I know that this is a 1/5. So EF has to be the remaining part, right? So we have DC minus 1/4 DC, because that's taking into account this piece, minus 1/5 DC. Oh. Well, we have DCs everywhere, which is helpful. Well, to subtract, we need to have a common denominator. So that means we have 20 DC over 20, and I'm picking 20 because 4 and 5 both go to 20, minus 5 DC over 20, minus, all right, that's going to be 4 DC over 20. Okay, this is getting much better. So that means 5 or 20 minus 5 minus 4 is 11, right? So we have 11 times the length of DC divided by 20. So that's the base. Okay, so I can plug that base in here. All right, so that's 11 DC over 20. Okay, all right, so now we're getting somewhere. And so now how am I going to relate these two expressions together? That is going to end up being the big question, right? Well, I do notice that AB and AB, well, that's, or AD and AD, that's going to be similar, right? So, all right, so I know that. But wait a second. So I know that. So I'm getting a less. I'm going to call this the height. I'm gonna call this the base, right? That's gonna be a little bit more helpful, because I'm getting a little confused with all these. So this is the height, right? And this here is the base. So that's 1/2 height times 11 times the base over 20. All right. Well, that's just the same thing as saying, well, we could just multiply this together, right? So we have 1 in the numerator. 1 times 11 is 11, okay. 2 times 20 is 40, all right. And then we just have our b. Maybe my fraction bar a little too long. We just have our h times b, right? H times b, because b, okay, that's all right. Oh, no way, but look, we have h times b is equal to 280, right? So instead of h times b, you know what I can use? I can use 280. All right, so we have 11 times 40 times 280, because hb is 280. All right, okay, so we can cross that out. Excellent. 4 goes into 28 7 times. So we just have 11 times 7, which is equal to 77. So the area of this triangle has got to be 77 units. Perfect. Good job.